Have you ever witnessed karma work its magic in real time? This story will show you how one moment of judgment can change everything. If this tale of redemption and second chances touches your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more stories that remind us of our shared humanity. Marcus stood in the rain outside Pinnacle Technologies, clutching his worn leather portfolio in one hand and his phone in the other. The screen displayed his daughter Lily's smiling face, a reminder of why he couldn't give up. The interview had gone disastrously wrong when CEO Victoria Winters had abruptly ended it after learning he was a single father. "I need employees who can dedicate themselves fully to this company," she had said coldly. "Single parents always have complications. We can't afford that kind of liability." Those words still stung as he walked away from the gleaming office tower. 6 months of unemployment had stretched his savings to the breaking point. This job would have changed everything. Marcus wiped the rain from his face, unsure if he was also wiping away tears. What Marcus couldn't know was that Victoria was watching him leave from her corner office window, already feeling the first twinge of doubt about her decision. 3 days later, Victoria's perfectly ordered world collapsed when her sister and brother-in-law were killed in a car accident, leaving her as the sole guardian of their 8-year-old son, Ethan. The boy sat silently in her office now, his small suitcase beside him, his eyes vacant with grief. "I have a meeting in 10 minutes, Victoria whispered to her assistant. "What am I supposed to do with him?" The assistant's expression said everything. "Figure it out." Victoria had built her company from nothing, sacrificing personal relationships for professional success. At 42, she had never married, never had children, never wanted them. Now, she was responsible for a grieving child and had absolutely no idea what to do. That evening, she sat across from Ethan at her dining table, the silence between them as vast as an ocean. The boy barely touched his takeout dinner. "Do you have any homework?" Victoria asked awkwardly. Ethan shrugged. "School gave me time off." "Right. Of course." Victoria checked her watch. She had 3 conference calls to make before midnight. The next morning was chaos. Ethan refused to get dressed. Victoria was late for an important board meeting. Her housekeeper called in sick. By the time she arrived at the office, Victoria was frazzled in a way her employees had never witnessed before. "Cancel my afternoon," she told her assistant. "And find me that single father we interviewed last week." "Marcus Chen?" "Yes. Him. I need to speak with him immediately." It took her team several hours to track down Marcus's contact information. When they finally reached him, he was at a job interview for a position that paid half what Pinnacle had offered. Victoria waited nervously in her office. When Marcus finally arrived, his expression was guarded. "Thank you for coming," she said, gesturing to the chair across from her desk. "Your assistant said it was urgent," Marcus replied coolly. Victoria took a deep breath. "I made a mistake. I judged you unfairly based on your personal circumstances, and I was wrong." Marcus remained silent, waiting. "The position is still open," Victoria continued. "And I'd like to offer it to you with a 15% increase on the original salary." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "What changed?" Victoria hesitated, then decided on honesty. "My sister and her husband died 3 days ago. I'm now the guardian of their 8-year-old son. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I suddenly understand exactly what you've been going through." The revelation hung in the air between them. "I'm sorry for your loss," Marcus said finally. "And for your nephews." "Thank you." Victoria's voice cracked slightly. "But I didn't ask you here just to offer you the job. I need help. Advice. I don't know how to take care of a child and run a company at the same time." Marcus leaned forward. "Why would you think I'd help you after how you treated me? I don't expect you to. But I'm hoping you might, for Ethan's sake." Marcus was silent for a long moment. My daughter Lily is 7. I've been raising her alone since my wife died 3 years ago. It hasn't been easy, but we've made it work. How? Victoria asked, desperation evident in her voice. One day at a time, Marcus replied. And with a lot of support. That evening, Marcus brought Lily to Victoria's penthouse apartment. While the children cautiously got to know each other, Marcus walked Victoria through the basics, school schedules, meal planning, the importance of routine. You need a support system, Marcus explained. Reliable childcare, backup plans for when he's sick, flexibility in your schedule. I've never been flexible, Victoria admitted. You'll learn, Marcus said. You don't have a choice. Over the next few weeks, Marcus proved himself invaluable both at work and in helping Victoria navigate her new role as a guardian. His innovative thinking revolutionized Pinnacle's latest project, while his parenting advice helped Victoria slowly build a relationship with Ethan. One evening, after the children had fallen asleep during a movie night at Victoria's apartment, she turned to Marcus. Why did you help me? You could have told me to figure it out myself. Marcus considered the question. When my wife died, I was lost. A neighbor, an older woman I barely knew, stepped in and showed me how to move forward. She didn't have to, but she did. Sometimes we need to be the person we needed when we were struggling. Victoria nodded, understanding dawning. I've spent my entire career believing that personal lives should remain separate from work. That emotions have no place in business decisions. And now? Now I realize that we're all human. Our personal lives affect our work, and pretending otherwise is foolish. 6 months later, Pinnacle Technologies implemented a revolutionary parental support program for all employees. Flexible schedules, on-site childcare, emergency family leave, policies that transformed company culture and, surprisingly, increased productivity. Victoria stood at the podium during the company's annual meeting, the board members watching with interest. Our success this quarter isn't just about numbers, she announced. It's about recognizing that our employees are whole people with full lives. When we support them fully, they bring their best selves to work. In the audience, Marcus smiled, Lily on one side of him and Ethan on the other. The children had become fast friends, and their parents had developed a partnership that transcended the workplace. Later that evening, as they walked through the park, Ethan ran ahead with Lily to feed the ducks. You've changed, Marcus observed. Victoria watched the children laughing together. For the better, I hope. Definitely for the better. She turned to him. I was so wrong about you, about single parents. I thought your family responsibilities would make you less committed to the job. Instead, they've made you more efficient, more compassionate, more innovative. Parenthood teaches you to solve problems quickly and creatively, Marcus said with a smile. And to recognize what truly matters. Victoria nodded. I'm learning that lesson every day. As the sun set over the city, Victoria realized that her greatest professional mistake had led to her most profound personal growth. By opening her heart and her mind, she had not only saved her company but had also created a family she never knew she wanted. Sometimes, our greatest failures lead us to exactly where we need to be. And sometimes, the people we judge most harshly become the ones who change our lives forever. The CEO who had refused to hire the single dad had become a different person, one who understood that compassion wasn't a weakness but a strength. And the single dad who had every reason to reject her plea for help had chosen kindness instead, changing not just 2 lives but an entire company culture in the process. As Ethan ran back to hug her, Victoria caught Marcus's eye and smiled. Some lessons come at a high price, but their value is immeasurable.